Hello everyone, welcome to the village of words. The word relation for this video is irresponsible, blame one's uncontrollable condition. It is irresponsible to blame one for their uncontrollable condition. To blame a person for their unlucky condition shows poor judgment. Pedophilia, LGBT, mental illness, obesity, unemployment, and even being a criminal. But if one committed harm, one should be punished, of course. Sometimes, among people, there are those who becomes different. I consider being different is a miracle. But the greatest miracle is to able to revert strangeness back to normal. Like religion reverting criminals back to the correct path. As many people always consider strangeness as wrong, normal people demonize loneliness and minority. Perhaps people can be blamed for trying new things. Because some try something new, that's why they become different. So, perhaps people can be blamed and punished for learning and trying new things. But I think that is just wrong. Learning and trying is essential to humans. And as a sick mentally ill, I should try different things to cope with my mental illness. And eventually, a sick person should try different things to find a cure. Next, I won't say I support pedophilia because if I say so, I think YouTube will flag me. Regardless, it is irresponsible to put the blame on pedophiles. It is wrong to have sex with a minor because it could harm the child. But pedophiles should not be blamed for having a desire for it. What makes us are our deeds, and a wrong deed should be punished. Pedophiles should be punished only when they commit the offense with a child. Yet, I have seen many people irresponsibly hating pedophiles. I have seen people irresponsibly blaming pedophiles for how they are. Moreover, is mental illness. There are many capitalists who expect a mentally ill to work. And normal people expect the mentally ill to do normal things like they do. Like a pig who expects everyone can be the same. There are even pedophiles and mentally ill who blame themselves for their condition. Why do I have this condition? Why me? I, for example, do thought that I should have work like everyone else. Even though it will be similar like being a slave in a death labor camp. A mentally ill is already suffering. And a mentally ill wants to push themselves more by taking burdens, by working. People often look down on people with a condition. Because of that, people with condition have to hide themselves from the world. Except for LGBT. Strangely, in the West, LGBT is applauded. Even though it is not normal for people to be with the same sex. Furthermore, it is wrong to blame a kid for anything. Hence, it is wrong to blame a new creation for anything. People with conditions are born different than their family. People with conditions are not taught to be different than their family. I believe instead of faulting someone for being different, I think a new creation should be celebrated. A new creation of God. Next, the newspaper commonly demonized the minority for easy money. Capitalists unites people's hearts for a common cause. And what easy hate target other than the minority who is different than others? Hate propaganda and money will lead to the destruction of the target. Like the destruction of the minority Jews in Hitler's time. So, I think the old German newspaper must also be at fault for the Holocaust. Maybe Hitler was simply riding the wave of propaganda. Moreover, maybe it is only during starving times that different people should be killed. Different people are like foreign weirdos to the country. If starvation happens, family will be prioritized first and strangers second. Supposedly, Western countries has the power to uphold diversity. I also prefer diversity because I believe it will bring knowledge. Different choices will also bring different thoughts. To be like Christians and how they usually say to love one another. That sounds nice. Besides that, there are different people that feels hopeless. I am different from my family. I am all alone. Different people feels like no one cares for them. Maybe it is better for them to commit suicide. Regardless, there are many ambitious people who are alone with their schemes. Even God, I think hardly anyone knows their words. After all, usually people are busy with work and chasing after money. And there are people like me who do not care being alone. As long as I have my own way of motivating myself or fuel to keep on living. It is not like other people can help me with my condition. It is not like other people can understand my condition. They seem so worthless. I selfishly blame other people than myself. I do not tell other people to off themselves. Instead, I just isolate myself from them, living only for myself. Then there is unemployment. There are people who cannot get a job. And unemployed people get depressed and envy others. Unemployed people are depressed. Why cannot they get a job in their field of studies? Unemployed people blame themselves. An unemployed person envies his other friends who have a job and a family. But maybe unemployment is also an uncontrollable factor. Meaning, an unemployed should not blame himself. Maybe it was what fate had dictated. Or maybe rightfully, we should blame the government and the economy instead. We should blame our leaders and those in power instead. The government did not produce enough jobs to cater university courses. Or maybe the unemployed are like factory excesses. Maybe unemployed people are just excesses that are not to be used. Conclusion: it is irresponsible to blame one for their uncontrollable condition. Whether it is mental illness, unemployment, or even obesity. That's all for this video. Hit like, share, or comment down below.